Hi, everybody, and welcome to Answers with the Astral Bag Lady with your host, Reverend Dr. Newman, and myself, Reverend Spirit Soaring. And today we're going to talk about, you guessed it, being on the road again. Because that's where I do what I do best.
It's fun.
It's an adventure.
That's true. Life should be an adventure.
There's always challenges to being on the road, but hey, look, part of life's joy is learning that you can overcome challenges in your way. Um, I've done this before, a time or three. Uh, and I excel at it. I literally have fun facing those challenges that make everybody else quake in their boots.
Brilliant.
Um, because it's what makes this pump. You know, change is good for me. Change is an ever constant thing for me anyway. So embracing the change, going with it, jumping in feet first. That's how I deal with it.
Perfect.
I know
And
you have your
there's not a medicine man or medicine woman that isn't a gypsy at heart. Hence the little pouch of earth we carry or wear.
right.
Because my home is Mother Earth.
Yeah.
It's all I need. And because I know my needs will always be met, I don't sweat the small stuff. That's one of the big things about getting back on the road, especially for you guys, because you're right in the thick of it, is that you must make sure, regardless of the situations, whether it's by choice or situation or consequence, that as long as your faith is stronger than your fear, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
If you fall into the fear column, Donna Austin says, howdy, 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 honey. Fall into the fear column, you are fated to call in your greatest fears, one after another, in no particularly sequential order. It's kind of like those karate films where one guy takes on 12. Now, here's the thing. If one guy held you and the other guy hit you, it'd be over. But I guess they're 12 dumb guys. And so the star will knock them down one at a time. Fine. And isn't that the best way to deal with challenges? One at a time.
Yeah. Well, if you try to tackle your challenges more than one at a time, what are you going to end up doing?
Frying yourself
Or falling on your face.
or you're behind.
Yeah. So when little things pop up when you're on the road, when you're facing life's challenges, when you're whatever it is you're doing, when you're doing that, if you bite into those fears, man, all you're going to be able to do is think about what you're worried about.
Mm-hmm.
If you tackle each and everything that comes up, dishes come up when you're on the road. Who's
Mm-hmm.
going to do the dishes? How are we going to do them? What are we going to do? Well, we have a routine. It's established routine. It works for us.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you get up from dinner, you wash your dinner plates, you wash the cookware, and you put it away. Um, we kind of got lax over the last couple of days because things got, with the robbery and everything else, things were kind of up in the air. So,
Back up the bus and tell folks what happened.
oh,
Yeah. The robbery. Like, oh, and then the house burned down. No, the robbery.
the robbery. Yeah, we decided the other night because it was way, way, way late when we finally got finished in our forced move. Um, we decided to stay in a motel, and us, we searched the ratings and the what people had to say about the place. Well, apparently the place we decided to stay at, they had scrubbed some of the nastier remarks and comments and changed ownership, and upgraded a little bit, so they starting over from scratch with their reviews. So all right, well, they have a pull through parking space where we can park the camper and the car, and it wasn't going to cost us that much. And they had a early check in and a late checkout, all perfect for us because we were dog tired, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, went out, grabbed dinner, which I hate to do. I'm that guy that doesn't like processed food anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So we grabbed dinner, brought it back to the motel room, sat there and ate dinner, and we noticed that nobody had any phone chargers in the room. So Rory ran back down to the car to get to get phone chargers, and came back up just absolutely ashen and white faced. It was like, guys, I don't want anybody to panic, but we've been robbed. Well,
Hmm.
first things first, don't want anybody to panic. Everybody panics. Go down to investigate the damage, and sure enough, they had busted out the back window and one of the side windows on the passenger side, and reached through and unlocked and opened the doors. And they managed to score $12,000 worth of loose gems
Nice.
and some of my sweetie's precious jewelry and some other things. Some things of note, some things that we won't talk about.
Mm-hmm.
They got my medicine.
Hmm.
Uh, Life moves on. The insurance company is not going to cover anything because it wasn't part of the car; it was just in the car.
But the car proper, they'll fix, right? Windows.
Oh yeah, they fixed the windows.
Okay.
They charged us a $500 deductible, money we didn't
Hmm.
have, but we paid it.
Sure.
Um, because we're trying to facilitate moving forward here, so that we can continue to be a help for people.
No, you are moving forward, regardless. And the people that stole from you, wrap your mind around this, boys and girls. If someone takes something that is yours and you let go of it freely, hey, it's gone. The person who stole that something from you will pay tenfold. That's the law of return.
Oh well, it's see here, it's even worse. They stole from 4 ordained ministers
Don't matter.
who were
Criminals
all
don't
doing
think about
missionary
that.
work. They're just
Criminals
adding
don't
on
think
to
in
their
those terms.
karmic.
Back when I was in service at the church down the block, a man came in, broke the side door to the congregation hall, and stole the Bible. Took a bunch of stuff out of the gift shop, made off with whatever cash was on hand, but mostly that was in a bank vault kind of thing. A safe, floor safe. It's like bolted to the floor. Made off with the Bible. And the police came to take my report. And he said, it's kind of low taking a Bible. And I said, yeah, but what if he reads it? We knew who he was. He was one of that's back when we were a homeless shelter and everything had to be nailed down. So,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah. What if he reads it? He might actually get some use out of it.
maybe.
And Bibles aren't that hard to come by, you know?
I mean, I shudder to think somebody putting on Sweetie spiritual jewelry, but the kind of person that stole from us, they went straight to a pawn shop
Yeah.
or somebody that would pay them a cash fee for what they came in with.
They probably don't even know.
A 2.5 carat white labradorite princess cut cabochon.
Wow.
12 millimeter black amethyst jewelry grade beads.
Hmm.
I had to buy those at auction. They ended up costing me $1,000 a piece.
Sure.
The people that stole from us, they don't have any clue what they walked off with.
Well, and
And
it was a sloppy job. You know, if they were pros, everything would have been gone,
yeah,
including the car.
including the laptop that I'm sitting here doing the show on.
They did a special on, I think it was ABC News, one of them, where they had people with keys and car thieves. And the car thieves got in the cars faster than the people with the keys.
Yeah,
Alarm, no alarm. They can fake it, they can short it. So, not to live like a victim, I always lock my car doors, always, not to live like a victim. But if you simply look at the methodology, these are opportunistic, probably kids.
yeah.
Wow. Going to cost them.
Oh yeah, because I gave a pretty detailed description of the missing gems.
Hmm.
If they show up at any of the jewelry shops or pawn shops in the area, that's an automatic hit. Um, I gave a pretty detailed description of the jewelry that went missing,
Sure.
because it's all I can do. You know,
Hmm.
it's out of my hands now. If the creator wants me to recoup that, the creator will give it back to me.
Well, you gave it to God, and you
Yeah.
must give it to God through all the travails that you and I have shared. It always comes down to
Bear
give it
with
to
me,
God,
guys.
and He's off.
Still here.
That's just the issue. If you let go, don't harbor any resentment. Don't wish ill, because people that steal are bottom feeders anyhow. So
Oh, yeah.
bless it, let it go, and know there's something better. Well, see, now we got the camera over here. Something even better will take its place. Now the camera's over there. Wow. Once
Hi.
again, it's a live show.
It's a live show. It moves around.
Why not?
Look, I'm outside. It's 90 degrees.
Yum.
I'm not sweating.
No.
I just took a nice rinse off,
Very good.
washed everything down real good, wet my hair down, combed out my beard, shaved,
Got all purty.
got all pretty so I could do a show, so I could come sit down in front of people and talk to them about why you just keep going. Look,
Because you have to. Linda Castellano says hi. Hi, Linda.
if I let everything, every little thing that happened to me turn into a setback, where would I be?
Dead.
A
Or walk around
long
dead.
time ago.
Dead or walk around dead. One to the other.
No, I would have ended up dead, not walk around dead.
And it's just, in the final essence, it's just not that important. It's just not. It's stuff.
It's tough.
And
Look,
stuff can be replaced.
I walked away from a $290,000 a year job
Okay.
because it was just stuff.
Yeah.
I walked away from a cell phone business because it was just stuff. Walmart was bound and determined to put me out of business, so I took their offer and said, "See ya." I walked off into the wilderness for 3 years. I didn't have a care.
Yeah.
Your dad's like, what are you doing? Take that money and invest it in something and turn it into something bigger. I'm like,
Did.
Dad, right now I just need to find me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the most important things in life anyway, isn't it? Right? Finding yourself. Sometimes it takes hitting the happy high road to find yourself.
Exactly. Distance. If you put distance between yourself and the issue, problem, situation, whatever, then you can see both sides, front, top, back, bottom, all. And then you can chip away at it. Chip, chip, chip.
Look, as long as we can maintain a constant, steady income of
Hmm.
just a little bit every day,
Yeah.
we've eliminated $2,700 worth of bills. Uh,
Brilliant. Brilliant.
if one of these fundraisers hits off and somebody decides to donate a sum of money, we'll upgrade the little pop up tent camper into something that's drivable and
Hmm.
sustainable, and we'll continue on. You know, our goal is not to build the house on the mountain and sit there for the rest of our lives. Our goal is to build the house on the mountain so that when we need to take a break, there's some place to take a break.
Hmm.
Um, because our goal is to continue to travel and meet the people that need help. Our goal is to continue to be out there helping the people that were looking for us anyway.
Absolutely.
Um, if we hadn't have been out there doing what we do, would have never met you.
True. Well,
If
but you kind of hunted me down. Kind of. Sort of.
I tracked you down because I felt a kinship when I read the book.
Hmm.
You know, when I read the book, I knew that one day I would meet this walked far woman, and we would talk about how we were related.
Exactly.
And then we did, and damn, the relations go deeper than we even thought. So it was just meant to be. It was one of those things that we sat down before we came back here and said, "Hey, I'll see you the next time around."
Absolutely.
We're soul tribe. We're soul family.
Well, and that transcends time and place and
Yeah,
space and all that stuff. We've always been clan. We'll always be clan. That's kind of nice. Considering I'm an orphan, I've
yeah.
got the world's biggest sacred family. That's that balance point. When you find your attitude going into a downward spiral or circling the bowl, as it were, start with what you have. Don't look at what you haven't accomplished or what you haven't done or what you don't own. Look at what you have.
Right.
And there's always going to be more in the haves than the have-nots.
Well, I mean, there's something else people could learn from me and you. We've had our disagreements,
Mhm.
but every time we've had a disagreement, we come back to the table to talk about it.
Sure.
And
And they're not even disagreeing. They're different viewpoints.
yeah, when it all boiled down to it, we were actually trying to take the same points,
Yeah.
just from different perspectives.
Hmm.
So, a lot of people could take a note from that. Take a step back. Take a look at it from their point of view. Hell, if you have to, step into their shoes for a minute.
Hmm.
See where they're at. You know, we've got a family member that's in crisis now, and it's just a matter of embracing the unknown and embracing the fear that they run from.
Exactly.
Um,
Because that fear is always going to catch up with you.
yeah,
It's going to develop lockjaw. It's going to bite you on the butt and develop lockjaw. That's what it's about. Pardon my
another
time.
family member in Central Kentucky that knows that Central Kentucky's killing her.
Mm.
Um, I mean, seriously, knows that the region is killing her because she just recently decided to start transitioning and come out as a her instead of what everybody declared her to be when she was born.
Hmm.
She's at risk.
Yep.
And she's in the land of don't you dare. But you know, sometimes you got to take that dare. So Chloe did. I'm proud of her. You know, you if you don't identify as who you are, if you don't become who you are, if you don't find out who you are, it doesn't matter what you do. You spend your time endlessly spinning in circles.
Hmm.
And part of getting out on the road is learning who you really are.
Well, and the ultimate is to live your truth. So your
Yeah,
beloved family members live in her truth. That's honorable.
yeah,
And if you don't take a step in honor, you're not going anywhere. Nope.
right. If look, when I stepped off on the Good Red Road, I was just as lost as everybody else. Just as lost. I had guides though, and I paid attention to them,
Hmm.
and they helped me keep putting one foot in front of the other down that Good Red Road,
Exactly.
so that I could learn to be a better human, so that I could learn to be a better human, so that I could learn to be a healer, and not that wounded healer that everybody hears about. Because I walked as a wounded healer when I was lost. I had to find myself so I wouldn't be that wounded healer anymore, so I could actually heal.
Yep.
And the
Indeed.
first step to that, and this is a hard one for everybody. The first step to becoming that healer, not that wounded healer, is healing thy own self.
You don't
Overcoming.
have a right, unless you're firm in your awareness and your energy and your power, you really don't have a right to step into somebody else's life. You just don't.
Right.
You just don't. And the wounded healer, God, my science says, the wounded healer can only draw in really, truly sad victims. And victims are the people that never heal. Ever.
Yeah.
We're all born with a certain amount of victim, but by about 2.5, we work that through.
Yeah.
And if you don't, I can generally tell by a person's chart and their behavior where their emotional development arrested. Like Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was a 6-year-old boy in a 40-something-year-old body.
Yeah.
No doubt he was abused by his father. His father was just creepy. No doubt he was abused, allegedly, by his father. Yeah. And so he stuck to that point. He tried to go back to an age of innocence, which is why he saw nothing wrong with him sleeping naked with other little boys. Well, hello. Y'all's not a little boy.
Right.
Y'all's a grown ass man. Not good. So we have to identify our victim. Mine has a name. She's Catholic. She's Linda Melanie Bridget. Yeah. And I understand her voice, and I know the choices she makes, and I can put that silly puppy on mute anytime I need to. Think. I mean, I'm helping out some family members right now, too, going through their own.
My inner victim is Greggly Wegley.
Oh, I like that. I was Melinda Peake when I was little.
And sadly, my family never caught on that. Every time they used that moniker for me, they had introduced me to my rapist as Greggly Wegley.
Yeah.
And that was his pet name for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
and see, there's that victim thing. Because when people are abused mentally, physically, emotionally, sexually, the first thing they say, especially if they're a Leo, is, what did I do? How did I make this happen? Well, you didn't. Usually that's opportunistic stuff. Just like your car getting broken into. But I should mention, before I brain fart, because I brain fart often, that while it's unfortunate to lose stuff, pricey stuff, you can write it off on your taxes, which mine are due in October. Again, 4 years to do. Anyhow, on the 1040 AB form, where you write down medical, dental expenses, household taxes, how much you paid for your car license plate tags, because those are a legitimate deduction, union dues, charitable contributions, and or uninsured losses. It's right on the bottom under miscellaneous. As long as it's documented, and yours is, as long as it's documented, you get to write that off. So it's kind of every year I do taxes, in one hand and out the other. You rather would have made the money, but at least you're not paying taxes on it.
Right.
It's a wash.
And if I claim $12,000 loss up front, well, that covers me for all of the what they think I should have earned, and they'll have to pay me something.
There you go. Perfect. I always tithe more than I make. I've done that for 25 years now, and it wasn't until divorce court that the attorney was like, "Well, that can't be." And I said, "Yes, it is. How do you live?" I said, "Frugally." But a lot of what I donate is my time, or it will be merchandise that I bought wholesale, and they can sell retail.
Yeah.
So I have records. So there. Ha.
And at the end of the day, as long as I have my family, as long as I have what matters the most to me, because home is where your heart is.
Exactly.
As long as I have what matters most to me, my life bonded partner, my grandchildren, my children, whatever they throw at me is just, whatever they throw at me. I've dealt with worse.
I was going to say, it's not the end of the world. It happened before. It may happen again. You never know. And the one thing you know for certain, whichever direction it comes from, it can't defeat you. It can bum you out for a minute and a half, and you might have to say naughty words. I would say naughty words. But it can't defeat you.
I do charitable work, and I do work in the Creator's name.
Exactly.
So it'll all come back to me.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. That's another part. Somebody takes something from you. It's going to cost them tenfold, whatever that property thing, idea, whatever that was worth. They'll pay for it. But because you let go of it freely and openly, that thing, situation, condition, money, will come back to you. It may change forms, but it will come back.
Yeah.
I've had people steal my work. I've had people steal my stuff. The bank stole my house. That was a good one. The house was
You had
325.
somebody write your story and didn't even credit you in the story.
You know, the only one that put my name in there was Dr. Bob. And he called me his astrology goddess. And I thought, well, that's, he's the Pope of all things metaphysical. So that's very high praise. But I've had a lot of things shapeshift and change form. And they've always come back better. They've come back as a better opportunity or a better awareness or a better awakening. And these are awakening days. Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius. That's awakening humanity of necessity. That whatever resources we have, they're limited. So if we go to the Jupiter aspect of it, we have to share what we have, or none of us will survive.
Mm-hmm.
If we go to the Saturn aspect, that's where you go to that dark swirling place again. So go to the good part of Saturn, which is to grow up, for God's sake. Just grow up. Excuse me.
When a person of medicine offers you advice and you take the advice freely, and then you do nothing with the advice, you've done not only yourself a disservice, you've done the medicine person a disservice.
You stole.
Yeah. That's wisdom shared, knowledge gained,
Mm-hmm.
and knowledge wasted.
Mm-hmm.
Look, if I tell you that you're hunting rabbits, don't ask me how I know you're hunting rabbits. Just stop hunting rabbits.
Mm-hmm.
If I tell you that you need to pay attention to the ant medicine in your life, maybe there's some details you're leaving out. If I tell you to follow the moose herd, I'm telling you to look for the way around your obstacle. You know, I'm not going to say that stuff just to be saying it. I'm not, and I don't know anybody like me that would just say it just to say it. You know?
Nobody.
Because you have to understand that medicine to use that medicine. I teach people to understand that medicine. So if they're not using that medicine, I don't think it's my teaching. I think it's reluctance to let go of past forms. You know,
Old belief systems, old philosophies, old ideas. How many people do you know? Wow. Who will stay in a crappy relationship because they don't want to look for something new or a bad job or an awful situation? Because, well, at least I know what I'm dealing with. Yeah, torture. What's wrong with you?
look, we've become so inured to the cultural deficiencies we live in.
Mm-hmm.
We've become so inured to the deprivations subjected upon us that if that's not what we're dealing with, we're lost.
True.
You know, if you step out of that cultural depravity, if you step out of that lack of center and into the world of the spiritualist, you know, where we take everything on faith, something changes. I don't look for the rabbits because if I need to find a rabbit, the rabbit's going to come to me.
Right.
And that's usually only because I didn't pay attention to the ant. You know, I left out a detail. And some of that's gone on this last week, you know?
Well, that's these Virgo planets, honey bunny. Yesterday was the new moon in Virgo, Sun, Mars moon in Virgo. So it's been, in my world, in my happy little world, the last thing I remember, it was Thursday. Thursday. And of course, crunching through clients and charts and having a great time with it and everything else. And so yesterday, got up, finally finished those reports that got lost in the blackout, finished them all up, packaged them up. They're in a bag, ready to go to the post office. Got in the car, got halfway to the post office, and I thought, idiot, it's Labor Day.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody at the post office going to talk to you.
No.
Oh, well, tomorrow's good.
I've started using that little electronic kiosk at the post office.
Oh, nice.
Well, hello, sister.
Susan Burris Stanley. Hello, honey.
Glad you could make it. We're talking about life on the road.
You have to be prepared. And, we've talked about it before. I've lost everything more than once. You've lost everything more than once. It really gets your values straight. When you're living on the road, you discovered you don't need that fondue set. It was great in the 80s, but not anymore.
I don't need a toaster.
No.
Now, the little Foreman panini pressed thing,
Mhm.
that's handy.
Mm.
I can knock out 4 grilled sandwiches in like 10 minutes,
You know what's worse? If you have a waffle iron, which is why I gave mine away, if you have a waffle iron, you can make cinnamon buns in less than a minute. Crank open that tube, spray on some of that buttery flavor spray, chuck it in there, close it, 1001, 1002, 1000. Dang, they're done. You can melt your face off eating hot cinnamon buns. What I discovered very handy, and as I told you before, had to have it. I have a really nice little hot air fryer, not the big guy, but the medium size, not a hot air fryer. And it sat in the box for like 2.5 years. And then recently, my oven died. The stovetop still works, so I can make coffee. But I don't have an oven. And as a foodie, it's hard not to have an oven.
Yeah.
There's one next door, but the whole carrying stuff back and forth is just not happening. So dug out the air fryer, took it out of the box, plugged it. I've used it every day since. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It takes about the same time as a conventional oven, but there's no ick, there's no grease, there's no oil, there's no mess.
We opted for the Instapot instead of the air fryer. I almost wish we'd have got the air fryer.
Mm-hmm.
But now that we have the Instapot, there's a bunch of recipes for that thing, but not all of them are as easy as
they look.
Yeah. Susan doesn't have an oven. She uses an Instapot, an air fryer, and a stovetop.
All right.
She lives in one of the original tiny homes in close to our hometown.
How cool is that? I talked through our break, so we're going to take it now. Sure, Newman, no problem. AIM is not AIM is not an organization. AIM, as its name implies, is a movement. Within that movement, organizations will come and go. No one person or local group actually runs AIM. Don't confuse AIM with any particular person or persons, even though they march under our banner, worthy or unworthy. They're where they need to be. AIM is the people. AIM will be there when every one of us living today is gone. AIM will raise new leaders in every generation. Crazy Horse belonged to AIM. Sitting Bull belonged to AIM. They belong to us still, and we belong to them. There are no followers in AIM. We're all leaders. We're each an army of one, working for the survival of our people and of the earth, our blessed mother. This is not rhetoric. This is commitment. This is who we are. In the spirit of Crazy Horse, Leonard Peltier. Oh, Leonard Peltier must make Crazy Horse very proud. Leonard Peltier is in prison for being a native. We can talk about. We'll do a whole show on that zone night, just cause, and we'll all get to vent our spleens, our cumulative spleens. At the moment, you can write to Leonard Peltier at number 89637-132, USP Coleman, PO Box 1033, Coleman, Florida 33521. Do it soon. He's not doing well. He's no kid. He's been there forever, and he's not doing well. So, add him to your prayers and reach out to him. Please. Pretty please.
You want a real eye opener, El? Google political prisoners in Coleman, Florida.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Him and a couple of Black Panthers. And I'm sure more natives.
Yeah. 7 or 8 AIM members.
Hmm.
A couple of Black Panthers. The guy that started the Mohammedist movement in South Philly.
Okay. What are you doing? Oh, okay. I'm thinking, what?
I'm being me. Hey, Swampy. Out here on the open road, Swampy.
Yeah, you are. Never white. See, now I did 7 years of it doing stand up. Okay. And, well, for one, I got really tired of hotel food or fast food or, God forbid, vending machine food, either or. And truthfully, it quit being fun. As
Yeah,
soon as it quit being fun, it was like my audience was still applauding. They were laughing. They were having a good time. I go back and sit alone in the hotel and say, "Boy, this sucks." Maybe one more weekend. And you know me, I one more weekend for like 10 months.
yeah,
And then I thought, it's not about the mileage on the car; it's the mileage on my spirit. So I actually did my 7th year anniversary was my swan song, and I didn't tell anybody. I just thought, you know what? Let's really have a blowout. And so I went in there, no filters, just me. I was brilliant. It was wonderful. Somebody taped it, and that was it. It was like, thank you from my heart. Thank you. Done.
yep.
No curtain calls. Just be done. And
When I retire, I
for me,
think
it
that's
was
what
about
I'm gonna do.
for me, it was about the time I missed with my family. It's like no amount of money's worth the time I could have with my family. Oh, Swampy says, let me know when you hit Ohio. They will. Trust me. Although they'll probably be in the driveway at the time because they have a tendency of doing that. Hi, you're in
Yeah,
Ferndale. You're in
we,
Ferndale.
we
You're in
show up
Michigan?
at driveways without notice.
Yeah, which is a crapshoot here because I'm only here part of the time. I have, well, as you know, my favorite client, Desiree Lipschitz, had her birthday July 23rd. I have dodged that woman since July 23rd. She's circling. And she will call and talk to my answering machine till it runs out of time. You know, like, did it, beep, it's her again. Did it, beep, it's her again. 8915665. See, that's how long she's been around. I know her damn number. I wish I did not. And it's like, when is it gonna get better? It's been so rough. You have no idea. Oi, oi.
I-
We'll have the same conversation we've had for 20
Look,
years.
look, people like her are the ones that really don't have an idea.
No.
Um,
Now, riddle me this. Is that a curse or a blessing? It's like I was dealing with stupid neighbors the other day because they're stupid and insipid, stupid and proud, smarmy proud, rude and stupid. And I thought, I'm not going to, I don't want to hurt them. Well, I kind of do, but I don't want the karma from hurting them. And when they wake up tomorrow, they're going to be just as stupid as they are right now. Why school them when there are people that want to hear what I have to say? And I thought, maybe, you know, I remember in my 20s, I was a real pinhead and I wasn't particularly grateful. Exactly. And I could think of things that I did that were just
yeah,
rude, kind of awful, not thoughtful, not appreciative. Um, I thought, but it's a blessing to me at the time. It was a blessing because I couldn't see what a horse's patoot I was being. Now I look at it and go, "Oh, Jesus God,
yeah. Did I do
Mother of God,
that?
was that me?"
I've looked back at my life, and I had some Steve Urkel moments.
Face
I'm gonna,
palm and all.
yeah, I'm gonna admit it. The night I woke up in the hospital, and the attendant said, "Man, you were minutes away from a body bag." That was one of those Steve Urkel moments.
Mm,
Did I do that? Yeah, I'm the dumbass.
Frugally.
I'm the dumbass that drank myself to death.
Mm.
So I could come back and talk about it. It's one of those things. It's how we learn about life. We have to live it, right?
See, I already know how I'm going to go. Are you ready for this one? Because it's relatively painless. I'm going to trip over a cat while eating a giant chocolate bar.
Yeah,
That's it. And as long as I die with chocolate on my lips, I'm happy. I'm happy. No complaints. Heck,
you eat
there's a cat.
chocolate every time you walk through your house.
I try.
L.
I try. Ow! Cat just got me with his nails. Yes, Indy. Indy's laying
Yeah,
on.
he's calling you on that fib.
Yeah. I'll knock you down the basement steps. Yeah, you will. Put your toenails away. I'm gonna get Uggs and glue them on his feet. That's what I'm gonna do. Uggs, cat Uggs. Ow.
Cat Uggs. Oh,
He's
goodness.
too old to do his toenails. Plus, that's illegal in Michigan now, which means I'll be taking my cats to Ohio when I get other cats. Well, he's an indoor-outdoor bum, and as an outdoor cat, he needs his toenails.
Yeah.
And
But
he's
when
been
he's
catching.
inside, he needs to put his shoes on.
Stop it! He's been catching mice all week. Little baby, little bitty, little great big ears and a little white belly and a little pink nose. And I walk out in the morning and squish, there's a mouse. He left a mouse for mommy.
He's bringing gifts for Mama.
And so I said to Lisa, well, one little mouse can make a lot more mises, can't it? And she said, yes.
Yes, they can.
So I guess that's the
Rapidly.
good news. It's not like
Yeah,
when he
look,
kills rabbits and leaves me
we
to heaven.
went to look at an RV, and the woman said, well, this was an RV that was in our immediate price range, too.
Mm-hmm.
She said, well, I don't know how to put this, but there was a mouse infestation in the camper sometime over the storage period. She opened the camper door for me. And if it was just an infestation, it would have been one thing.
It was a colony.
It was a colony.
Oh.
There was mouse feces.
See, now here's the
Deep.
thing. Okay, there. Virgo speaking, mice and rats in those kind of particular varmints, M-I-N-T-S, pee where they poop. As you know, I loves me some hoarders, and they shovel stuff out of carpets and furniture, and
So if you see
and people want to
mouse
keep
poop
that
on cushion,
stuff.
you have to throw that cushion out because
it's toxic, and people want to keep that stuff. One lady had a bunch of toys she wanted to donate, and they were like, "Really? That's full of pee and poo. You can't clean that. It's porous plastic. No."
I guess we got lucky because her transmission wasn't working in the RV.
Mm-hmm.
We were pretty desperately looking for something that was livable.
Mm-hmm.
That just wasn't livable, and without a transmission, it made it something impossible. Because part of doing what we're doing means getting on the road, right?
Well, and that starts at $2,000. I purchased. My darling daughter had a boyfriend who blew the timing chain and killed the transmission on her little red sports car. Just transmission alone was $2,200.
Yeah. But hey, life moves on, and we continue the adventure, and we do what we got to do to make it work.
And at the worst, it cost you a day while the car was getting fixed.
It took them 2 days, which
Okay.
meant 2 days stuck in a motel,
Mm.
unable to really do anything. We couldn't DoorDash. We couldn't, JC walked to work for 2 days from the motel.
Mm-hmm.
I walked to go. Me and Sings walked to go meet her on her way home from work one night.
Sweet.
And JC's a trooper. She really is. She's embraced the change. She's moving forward through this like ain't no obstacle gonna get in her way.
Oh no. It's
And
just a speed bump. That's all it is.
Look, she's the type of bullheaded Aquarius that she will drag you along with her until she can't.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things I admire about her. She carries her weight, and if somebody's lagging, she'll pick up the slack for a minute.
Well, and the beauty of it, with 4 adults in the house, even though you got that old daycare thing, but you should be getting that daycare stimmy thing, probably. Wing it. With 4 adults in the house, somebody can always be working somewhere.
Yeah.
And in truth, you're all working on something all the time.
Yeah. I mean, we've had a week off from the morning missive. We've had a week off from the evening shows.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to get those back up and running.
Sure.
hopefully by next week we'll be in a position where we can have those running full time. Somebody said maybe you don't need to do so many shows, and I think they're missing the point. Uh, Somebody said y'all are possessed. There's just something wrong with y'all. I was like, no, there's nothing wrong with us. We're dispossessed. We walked away from a life of strife and struggle and always trying to make ends meet so that we could more than make ends meet so that we could prosper and grow.
Yes.
Look, we gave this a lot of thought. We literally gave this months worth of thought because we had a feeling when the landlord was being wishy-washy back in April that they had something afoot.
You can tell.
Yeah, you can tell.
Sneaky business. You can smell it.
Because he started asking in April, do y'all intend to extend past August? And I kept answering.
Nope.
At this time,
no,
I don't have an answer for you.
Oh, okay.
Because I really and truthfully, I wanted to make sure we had everything in place.
Mm-hmm.
I had been working to establish more qualified jewelry sales, so I can show that as an income when we pull out the spreadsheet for Square and go for our business loan.
Sure.
Beefing up the inventory, bulking up the capacity for what we actually can turn out. And then we started working on the business plan for 4 of and bulking it out and fleshing out the services that we offer.
Sure.
And working really hard to establish our menu, what we were going to offer, where we were going to offer it, when we were going to offer it. So, we've been prepping for this, planning for this all along.
Sure.
And the people back home are all like, you lost your friggin' mind?
No, you found it. You found it. You found your heart song.
This is not the first time I've done this. And really, when I answer my calling, when I do what Creator gave me to do, go around and help people, I don't suffer from my PTSD and my stress anxiety disorders.
That's right.
Because I'm doing what I'm meant to do. You do what you're meant to do. You drum for the world. You drum for peace. You drum for the waters. You drum for the children. You drum and pray. You drum and trance. Well, yeah, I drum some too, but my calling is actually being out there on the front lines, getting personal with the people that need help.
Sure. Just being open to who gets placed in your path.
Yeah.
And if they're open to it. Okay, Susan, I've been remiss. She doesn't know anybody's number anymore. I don't either. I don't even know my own cell phone number.
Well, she says I'm happier now than I've ever been. She's not wrong.
And she said, she didn't say, you're not crazy. She didn't say that. Crazy, I like crazy. I like crazy. Because crazy is a lot more fun. And crazy is capable of damn near anything. Sane people have this little parameter behaviors. They go from A to B to B to A to A to B to A, rinse and repeat. Crazy people will find potential. Others had walked right past it.
Susan, if we weren't all a little bit crazy, we'd all go insane.
Yeah. Normal's a setting on my clothes dryer. That's it.
My clothes dryer doesn't even have that setting.
Okay, consider this. When you walk with the ancients, you leave no footprints. You leave everything the way you found it, only better. Matter is energy. Matter is pure vibrations. Energy is information. Information is thought. Thought follows that energy field. Thought is consciousness. Energy plus vibration equal matter. Thought plus voice state your realities. Create your reality. Thought plus voice tell the world what you want. Thought plus voice equals sincere prayer. Thought plus voice equals healing. Think, say, and do good things. It will come back to you, to your children, and your children's children's children. We are finally catching up. It's about time, don't you think?
Yeah,
catch up. Catch up.
Look,
The
for those of you out there that have a little spark of imagination, a little spark of creativity, a little spark of adventure
Mhm.
still left in your lives, check out Hip Camp. Okay, it's a cheap, easy, affordable way to get your power hookups, your sewer hookups, your water hookups, Wi-Fi sometimes. Not in every situation, but it's an affordable way to go camping, big campground style in a little campground space.
nice. What
Throwing
fun.
that out there, getting those spots, you know.
See, now camping, another thing I'm done with. Unless somebody makes an espresso maker I can plug into the Jeep, not camping. Okay? Because I'm the kind of
I
person,
can tell you where to get that.
Amazon.
No,
Hmm.
Love's Truck Stop.
All right. All right.
Almost got one last year,
Mm-mm.
but I still like my campfire espresso.
That's good too. But see, I need coffee before I have coffee. So it's like I would chew the beans if I could, okay, or snort it or something. So when I
Oh,
when I did the lecture circuit,
I found an edible you don't want,
eh?
even though it seems like it would be right up your alley. It's a chocolate covered espresso bean.
No, 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 no.
Talk about the jitters. Wow.
I had a friend send me a big, beautiful candy dish sized container of peach edibles.
Oh
I
my
hate peach.
goodness. You hate
I
peach.
hate the color's fine, but I spent too much time in Atlanta, so I hate peach toilet paper, peach wallpaper, peaches in your breakfast cereal, peaches, peaches, peach. Shoot me, just shoot me, shoot me.
Oh, every restaurant down there. Peach sorbet, peach ice cream, peach sherbet, peach
Peach,
cobbler, peach
peach nasty,
pie, peach
peach
fuzz.
nasty, nasty, nasty. So I can well do without that.
Would you
Plus,
like
I
a
was
lot of peaches with your dinner?
nothing. Plus, I was both a campfire and a Girl Scout leader because my girls are 9 years apart, and my camping was 38 little girls. Try that one. It's the longest weekend of your life. And by Saturday night, they hate each other. Friday, we leave. We're singing songs. Everybody's on the bus. It's all good. Da, 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 da. By Saturday night, they are picking at each other and fighting at
Oh,
each
yeah.
other. The mothers are getting drunk. They're no help. Yeah. No.
It's the omnidirectional camera.
All right, then.
We're chasing the shade.
Mine is slumbering. I still have chin. I've lost 2 chins now, but I still have chins to go. So
Hey, as long as you've lost two, that's a start.
it is. Got to start somewhere, don't you?
Right. Look, everything I put in storage, I watch JC look at me and go like, "Oh my God, you're going to go on the road without that?"
Yep.
I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go on the road without that. If I try to bring that, there's not room for beans.
Yeah. Oh no. Beans first. And
We've had
pop-ups
to
are
we've had
cool.
to safely store my drums.
Okay.
Um, Hopefully that frame that you have is a little bit smaller than Gray Buffalo, because
It's a pretty
we,
good
we,
size.
we, we need something, a small hand drum that we can fit in somebody's lap.
Yeah.
Not a 20-inch not a 20-inch hand drum that,
This is probably bigger than that.
oh
But
goodness.
it'll keep. It's one of those. It's just sitting there.
We'll look along the way. We'll find.
Something.
Yeah, Susan said if it's in storage, probably don't need it. She knows
Yes.
me. She knows that I travel these days as light as I can. That usually means way more than I need.
Which is prudent. First time I drove to South Dakota. No, actually, Montana. To sprinkle the fire bears bits on Spirit Mountain. I packed like I was going to Europe for a month. And by day 2, I would open the back of the Jeep, take my drum to the room first because they have to be at the same temperature, and pull out my pajamas, my coffee pot, and my toothbrush.
Yeah.
You're looking at it.
Yeah.
Change your clothes for the next day. My
I,
Jeep was a storage unit.
I like to maintain 7 changes of clothes
Mm-hmm.
when I'm on the road. I learned how to pack those 7 changes of clothes in minimal space
Roll
a
them.
long time ago.
Roll them tight.
Yep, roll them tight. If you got an airtight bag that you can suck the air out of, even better.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, you carry 7 days of clothes. That way you can go 7 days before you actually have to visit a laundry facility.
Yep.
And maybe an extra T-shirt, a couple extra pairs of socks, some underwear, just because every once in a while there's that incident where you need something, that one article of clothing that didn't fit in the rest of the profile.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I carry my personal jewelry. I carry my cards. I carry my journal, and I carry my art pad.
You set.
I now have to tag along with a laptop, and I was going through the laptop case earlier before the show, and I'm getting ready to lose 5 pounds out of that too,
All right.
because it's just too heavy.
Yeah.
It takes up too much space.
I
So
can't believe people that walk around cradling their laptops. It's like, sit down, go home, sit down. I know the Wi-Fi is free at McDonald's, but screaming children, come to
yeah,
my place. I got more screaming children than McDonald's has. I saved one of those rotten kids last week. My better nature kicked in. Oh, what's wrong with me? I was out watering plants. Fertile Valley mom was drunk as usual, probably about 10 o'clock in the morning. And they bought these kids, okay, they got them scooters, but they're motorized. So what's the
yeah,
point of getting the kid a scooter that is motorized? Okay? So he did a header, and he went kind of butt over apple cart, landed on the sidewalk. Luckily, he had long pants on. And I talked him down, and his mother finally realized something was going on. And she came down and pretended to be concerned. I thought, well, I'm not from CPS. Don't act for me. I've seen you. This is the woman that turned to her daughter and said, 3-year-old said, where in the bleep did you learn how to talk like that? And the kid said, from you, mommy. So there you go. So I saved him. It was like, oh, my mother, my matronly self, my maternal self kicked in. And whatever. Can't watch anybody hurting and not do something. Which is why you should take your nails out of my arm, Indy. He's determined. He's laying on my notes again.
when we left the TV and the DVD player and the washing machine behind, I was asked, "Are you sure?" It's like, yeah. When we moved in here, I didn't have any of it.
Yeah. DVD players are like $30. Woo.
I think I
Is what?
paid $5 at Goodwill
There you
for
go.
the DVD player.
There you
I
go.
bought the TV I bought the TV from the neighbor who was moving out next door for $25.
Hmm?
He thought I was going to pay more for it, but I talked him down
Good for you.
because I offered to buy something else from him that he really wanted to get rid of that I really needed
Hmm.
for $25.
All right.
So he ended up getting his $50 out of his TV, and I got a free bed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Um,
God provides. I mean, we just can't.
the washing machine. Look, we'd been struggling with a laundromat for 2.5 years, and somebody gifted us a washing machine.
Wow.
It was a nice one, a front loading washing machine, like 25 different settings.
Hmm.
It'd be nice to have another washing machine like that when we have a place to put it.
Sure.
But I didn't have a place to put it. It wouldn't fit in the storage space. I had to get the storage space that I could afford.
And you don't need to store more. That's the issue.
Right. I don't need to store more. I need to figure out what's in the storage space that actually doesn't need to come home with me
Exactly.
when I'm home for it to come to.
Exactly.
Because that stuff that I don't need, I'm gonna sell right there. I'm gonna have a yard sale right there at the storage space,
Perfect.
and that eliminates a load for me.
It's 7 o'clock.
Is the sun getting you again?
No, our host is walking around in the yard picking up horse toys
Ah. All right then.
and doggy bowls.
Mm.
Yeah, we're at a really nice horse camp, hip camp type situation yesterday and today. Got to make some money today so we can find a place tomorrow. So,
And then tomorrow, where are you? Where are you going next?
We got to head back north for a couple of days. We've got. Correct me if I'm wrong, JC. I know you're listening. I think we've got a week and a half left in state before
Okay.
we have to head to Ohio. And JC's going to work right up until I think the day before we leave.
Very good.
She's taking roughly a week off from work so we can go and do this gig in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
So we can see a couple family members and crash at Swampy's place for a minute. Then we're going to come back. JC's going to work out the month of October, we believe, and then we're headed to Michigan.
Cool.
To see Auntie Linda.
Well, I hope I'm here. I've got some studio jobs coming up, so I might not be.
Well,
we'll see.
Ohio in 21 days.
Very good.
So birthdays, our birthday is next week.
Yep.
I'm going to be 55 and Rory's going to be 30.
Wow.
Exactly 25 years apart. It's kind of crazy.
Sweet.
I'm praying that we all face the changes that are coming.
Oh, you will.
You
got this.
I'm not talking about my family here. I'm talking about all of us.
Oh.
With equanimity.
Mm-hmm.
Open heart. Watching the news, watching the weather. You know, the natural catastrophes are getting worse. The people that didn't pay attention a decade ago when I said move away from Florida now have water in their yard half the year.
Yep.
There's our friends in Chile are stuck at home for the next foreseeable future, and they're glad they're farmers because the only road into their village washed out 2 days ago.
There you go.
I mean, it's completely gone. Bridge structure, road bed, everything. We have friends in Paraguay. They had some pretty bad mudslides last night. They don't know when they'll be able to get into village. But there again, they're self-sustaining. They provide for themselves.
Very good.
They've learned the lessons of their ancestors, and they've moved back to not a hunter-gatherer type situation, but we're gonna look out for self first, and then we're gonna work on looking out for community type situations.
Mm-hmm.
And they moved down there to Paraguay, and they moved from New York to Paraguay. In New York, they were bringing in $75,000 a piece a year and struggling. In Paraguay, they bring in $35 a month a piece.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to go because my headphones are acting up. And it's hard to talk to you when I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
No. So you can do the next hour, or you can tell everybody I love them. Goodbye. Love you, baby. Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a blessed night. Guys, I guess we had some technical difficulties on Elle's end. I hope it was nothing major. Check back with us next week in 168 hours for your next episode of Answers with the Astral Bag Lady. And we'll see you then. Peace and blessings.